I want to bring in, though, Klaus Scharioth. Mr. Scharioth, of course, German ambassador to the United States from 2006 until 2011. Mr. Ambassador, thanks for your time this afternoon, sir.
My pleasure to be here.
We've talked about a few of the issues that will undoubtedly or have already undoubtedly come up between these two leaders, trade, NATO. One of the other things that one would assume would probably come up, refugees. And one of the chief criticisms from President Trump during the campaign, at least, was that Chancellor Merkel had allowed far too many Syrian refugees into that country. They seem diametrically opposed on this particular issue as it relates to immigration, do they not?
Yes, refugees will be a problem. It will be a discussion topic. I think not the only one. They will also be talking about the European Union and they will talk about Russia. But let me first touch on migration. Both countries, Germany and the United States, have signed and ratified the Geneva Convention on Refugees. And so we have an obligation to take in some refugees in countries with a civil war or in a situation like that. And Germany did that, and Germany spent a lot of money on integrating those refugees. Last year it was 22 billion. And I think there is a debate of what countries can do, and what we have been doing, Germany has been doing, has been a benefit for not only Syria, but also for the whole region, because we have an obligation as Western countries to take in some of those refugees. But I would like to expect that they also talked about the European Union. The European Union is key. It's key to Germany, but it's also key to America, because I would say in modern times it has been the most important and most successful instrument for peaceful change. You see, all the Central and Eastern European countries who used to be part of the Eastern Bloc, they have become democracies, and this is not preordained. This goes not without saying. Between World War I and World War II, 28 of the then 38 states in Europe were authoritarian states or dictatorships. And the European Union made it possible that we have now a whole continent made up mostly by democracies, and that's a huge benefit. And I would also expect that they would talk about Russia, because that is very important, how we respond to the Russian aggression on Crimea and also in eastern Ukraine. And Germany has been leading the way, together with France, on trying to respond to this Russian aggression and negotiate for the West. So I think these three topics will play a huge role.
Ambassador, one might also assume that they would discuss China. Reportedly, the Chancellor earlier this week called the President of China and reaffirmed Germany's commitment to free and open markets. We heard from President Trump just a few hours ago via social media say that China's been little to no help in dealing with North Korea. What might the two world leaders say about China to each other?
China is, of course, a very important subject, because we have an interest, both the United States and Germany, we have an interest in having China, so to speak, on board for the international free trade, for also the relationship to North Korea. In the case of North Korea, China has played a crucial role in trying to solve that problem. But also the German-Chinese relationship has been very important, because we have an interest in keeping China on free trade. And I think, therefore, I think also the United States has that interest, as this relationship is critical.
Ambassador, stick around if you can for me as well. I'd love to also talk to you after this joint news conference wraps up.